When the American Special Forces soldier returned home, he found his wife and daughter brutally murdered in the living room. At first, he thought it was an old enemy seeking revenge, but to his shock, the killer turned out to be Agent Hogue. Regardless of who it was, he was determined to avenge his family. Chris first studied Hogue's daily routine in detail. Then he infiltrated Hogue's apartment. After confirming it was safe, he pulled out specialized equipment and copied the data from Hogue's computer. Once he had the files, he began hacking into them. Sure enough, he discovered that Hogue had accessed Chris's fingerprints from the Navy database, which were also the code to open the gun safe at Chris's home. With Hogue confirmed as a suspect, the real revenge began. That night, Chris broke into Hogue's apartment, forcing a suppressor into Hogue's mouth. Under the threat of death, Hogue admitted that he had taken money from Saul in exchange for providing the fingerprints, but he claimed he knew nothing else. At that moment, Chris felt dizzy. Hogue tried to fight back, but Chris shot him in the head without hesitation. Next, he set his sights on finding Saul. By Googling Saul's name, Chris discovered that he was the vice president of Horn Corporation. Chris then reached out to a journalist, hoping they could investigate the company. But the journalist pulled out Chris's medical report, which revealed a brain tumor affecting his mental state. The journalist suspected that Chris's previous hospital battle might have been a hallucination. At that moment, a man wearing sunglasses appeared nearby. On high alert, Chris got into a car with the journalist. As soon as they started driving, a car behind them also took off. Chris accelerated in reverse, ramming the pursuing vehicle. After getting out, he crouched low and opened fire to suppress them. Inside the car, they found a folder. When they opened it, it was full of detailed information on Chris's movements. Only then did the journalist believe that Chris was being targeted by a powerful evil force. Meanwhile, John attended Saul's party. As a CIA operative, he quickly gathered intel on Saul. After dealing with the bodyguards, Chris put a plastic bag over Saul's head and tied him to a chair. Saul quickly confessed that he was acting under orders from Horn Corporation's CEO, Steve. But the killer who murdered Chris's wife and daughter had only been in contact with the intermediary, Marcus, who was frequently active along the Mexico border. Seeing how cooperative Saul was, Chris injected a cocktail into his artery, silencing him permanently. Now, with two targets, Steve and Marcus, Chris decided to go after the intermediary first. Taking him out would lead him to the person who killed his family. He took a sniper rifle and lay in wait along the route Marcus would travel. When Marcus drove past, a single precise shot took him down. Chris approached Marcus, grabbed his phone, and quickly used specialized tools to hack the data, successfully locating the killer's camp. The camp had at least 12 guards. Fortunately, Chris had plenty of allies. 3 of them quietly infiltrated the camp. Using the radio, they created distractions, drawing several guards into the open. Once the guards were in the shooting zone, they opened fire and took them out. Maintaining their firing positions, they advanced immediately. If enemies were inside buildings, they threw stun grenades. The 3 continued to cover each other and push forward. When Chris finally captured the killer who had murdered his family, he hung him from a post and took out an axe, gutting him. After dealing with these small-time operatives, Chris now faced the bigger players. But could he take them on as well?